Okay. Anyhow, this story of the Emmaus story is really the story of each and every one of us. We can always uh, we can always put ourselves in the shoes of the two disciples. So here in this story, we have two journeys. One going to Emmaus, we have 11 kilometers, and then the other one is from Emmaus to Jerusalem.
Mm,
Again, 11 kilometers.
mm,
But the first journey was a very sad journey because there were people who were discouraged. Sabi nga, they looked down,
downcast.
they were downcast, they were discouraged because they were hoping, they were thinking that Jesus was going to be the Messiah. But what they thought was going to happen did not happen. So until they reached Emmaus, I don't know whether, I suppose that is Emmaus where they reached. And then while going there, Jesus narrated or rather repeated what exactly they were talking about, drawing it from them, uh, but they did not recognize him. Uh, and I think that is also many times the way we go to Mass. We listen to the Word of God, we say thanks be to God, we go home and we don't bring home anything because we are so downcast because of our problems. But then, when at the moment of the breaking of the bread, uh, they recognize Jesus. So that is the Eucharist. The first part is the liturgy of the Word. The second part is liturgy of the Eucharist. But in this, it was in the Eucharist that they were able to not only recognize Jesus, but they also understood what he was telling them before he broke the bread. And I think that is also what we should always realize, that in the Mass, we have the two parts, liturgy of the Word, liturgy of the Eucharist. And after the breaking of the bread, they were looking for him, but he was gone. And however, when they traveled back to Jerusalem, it was in the evening. They did not wait for the following day. But I suppose that was a happy journey because they were so overwhelmed when they recognized the risen Jesus. And they went there with a mission to confirm, to affirm what they heard about from the women, that Jesus is risen. And I think that is what, when the mass is at the end of the mass, when the priest says the mass is ended, go in peace, that is what we should be doing. We should be light-hearted, filled with Jesus, and be able to spread the good news. And to me, we identify the divine will both in the liturgy of the word and in the Eucharist, because the Eucharist will only take its meaning also from the Word of God. And I think that is what can happen to us, that once we recognize Jesus, then, as what happened with Father Roland, he found his place. He found meaning in what he was assigned to do. So he was no longer wandering around, but he devoted himself to where he was assigned and found meaning not only in that, but even in addition to journeying with you. That's why I would say that do not look at this as when we are with you, it's not only a burden, but we are co-journeyer with you. And therefore, we too will find meaning in whatever we are doing. And I think that is what should be, what we should gather in the third Sunday of Easter, that we find meaning in what we are doing. And what we are doing is that definitely to proclaim the resurrection of Jesus in all aspects of our life. I think that is what I would like to share with you, reiterating, Peter was uh, a guy who denied Jesus because he was so afraid, and he denied Jesus even 3 times. But then in the Acts of the Apostles, he was already very, very emphatic, and he was already a man of courage. So not only do we find our place in the church, but we find courage. That's why uh, the resurrection is not only uh, uh, gives us the light to see the truth, but the courage to stick to the truth. That's all I would like to share with you.